If you've ever struggled with your mother's decisions, this story might be for you. I'm Josh with eDesk Stories, your home for the juiciest stories and the hottest tea. In today's installment, the original poster wants to know,
Am I wrong for banning my mom from seeing my kids after she fat-shamed my daughter? I, a 38-year-old female, grew up in a household where my weight was constantly scrutinized. My mom was obsessed with appearances and would often make cruel comments about my body. No matter what I did, I was never thin enough, and it led to a long battle with an eating disorder that took years of therapy to overcome. I've worked hard to heal from the brainwashing that made me believe I was somehow less because of my weight, and I'm finally at a place where I accept and love myself for who I am. I now have 2 kids, a 15-year-old daughter, Emily, and a 13-year-old son, Jake. I've been very conscious of raising them in an environment that's positive and free from body shaming. I want them to grow up loving themselves, regardless of their size or shape, and to have a healthy relationship with food. My mom and I have had a strained relationship for obvious reasons, but I've allowed her to be involved in my kids' lives on a limited basis. She's their grandma, after all, and I wanted them to have that connection. However, I've always kept a close eye on things, especially with Emily, because I didn't want her to be subjected to the same toxic comments that I endured growing up. A few weeks ago, my mom asked if she could take the kids out for the weekend. It was a rare request, and I hesitated, but Emily and Jake seemed excited, so I agreed. I made it clear to my mom that I didn't want any comments about weight, food, or appearance. She promised to be on her best behavior. When I picked the kids up on Sunday, I immediately noticed that Emily was unusually quiet. Jake, on the other hand, looked furious. I asked what was wrong, but Emily just shrugged and said she was tired. It wasn't until we got home that Emily finally broke down and told me what happened. My mom had taken them out for pizza on Saturday, but when the food arrived, she told Emily that she could only have 1 slice because she needed to watch her figure. Meanwhile, Jake was allowed to eat as much as he wanted. Emily felt embarrassed and singled out, especially when Jake tried to sneak her another slice and my mom caught him. Apparently, my mom went on a rant about self-control and how boys won't like you if you're fat. I was livid. All those years of therapy, all the effort I've put into making sure my daughter would never feel the way I did, and my mom undermined it in one meal. I immediately called my mom and told her that she was no longer allowed around my kids. I couldn't risk her damaging Emily's self-esteem the way she had done to me. For what it's worth, my daughter isn't fat. She's athletic, plays fall and spring sports, and she eats a healthy diet. My mom is just worried that without someone shoving a diet mindset at her, she might become fat at some point. Like me, probably. I don't know. My mom was furious that I banned her from seeing the kids. She accused me of overreacting and said that she was just trying to help Emily by teaching her good habits. She told me I was being cruel by cutting her off from her grandchildren and that I was blowing the whole thing out of proportion. Some family members have also weighed in, saying that it's harsh to keep a grandmother from her grandkids over just one comment. But this isn't just one comment. It's a pattern of behavior that I can't allow to be passed on to my daughter. I've worked too hard to protect her from the same harmful mindset that nearly destroyed me. But now I'm questioning myself. Am I the asshole for banning my mom from seeing my kids? Or am I justified in protecting my daughter from the same toxic environment I grew up in?
so what do you think? We think she's perfectly justified in banning a toxic grandma from the kids' lives. She's creating poor body images with her shameful mindset, and that cannot be tolerated. But we're anxious to hear your thoughts on this too. Drop them in the comments. Let's discuss it. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily stories.